you have basically to master two primary skills. You must know how to select and connect. Those are the skills of relationship, selection and connection. And you've got to find a way to constantly improve the amount of joy, passion, nourishment that's happening within you and the person you're in relationship in. If you want to have not just a lover, a husband, a wife, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, whatever your language is, if you want more than that, you want a raving fan. A raving fan is somebody, if you were going to use a business metaphor, since there's so many business owners in the room, satisfies customers leave. I'll say it again. Satisfies customers leave. If they get a much better deal, much better opportunity, they'll leave. But a raving fan customer never leaves. And I'll give you a good metaphor in business. Apple Computers did everything it could do to screw up, and upset their customer base years ago, didn't they? In fact, they almost went under. They didn't make enough software. And a lot of companies and people that were Apple lovers. Now, people who use Microsoft, those individuals, how do you feel? Who uses Microsoft products and services? Great. And give me an emotional sound for how you feel about that company. Who here uses Apple products and services? And I didn't even have to ask them to make a sound. Did you notice that? Make the sound Apple products. How do you feel about Apple as a company? Now, it's only, 10% of the room, but almost everybody booed for Microsoft, which has the dominant marketplace, and they cheer for Apple. And the difference is people who use Apple are raving fans. Your goal in a relationship, above all else, is you want to make sure that you make this person who's in your life your raving fan. And there's only one way to do that. Worship them, not just love them. You got to worship them. If you want to have something that's extraordinary, because that person who is worshipped is not going to leave in a million years. And what makes them know they're worshipped is the following. You got to know, what do you really want? Because everyone is different. We all want love. We want the same needs. We got to know what we want. So some of you may be saying, well, Tony, this is all very interesting and dynamic, but I'm single and I don't have a relationship. You got to know how to start. The first step is to decide what's your vision for what you really want. What's your vision for what you really want? You can't make something happen until you get clear. What was the first step to taking something impossible and making it real? Focus. You need a vision. Without a vision, people what? Perish. You need a vision for your relationship. A vision for what is it I really want most in life? What would excite me? What would light me up? And I don't just mean a vision of what that person's supposed to look like and be like, or what values they have. That could be part of the vision. But also, what is your vision for what this relationship would create in the world that would inspire you to be in this relationship? Because without a vision of what the relationship's going to be, you're going to settle for whatever shows up. All you got to do is get a vision that is so compelling to you, so exciting and so clear that you get so much emotion, you'll figure a way to make it happen. And you might say, but I'm already in a relationship. Well, remember I said the two skills you got to have is select and connect? The first and most important selection you're going to make in your life, well, I'll tell you this first. 95% of the happiness you're going to have in life is going to come from who you select as your partner. So we're going to get absolutely clear about what is it you really want, because it's impossible to get there otherwise. I'll tell you what helped me. And this would be if you're brand new and you're single. The best way to do this is you sit down, you write down every single thing on earth you could ever want in the ultimate partner in life, your ultimate mate, your ultimate lover. Mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, the way you guys would pitch and catch, what you would do together, how you'd share. But every detail, a level of specificity that normally you would think is insane. And then you got to make a second list, I learned. And I did this years ago. I made this list, and I read it. It was pretty cool. And then I got in a relationship, and in that relationship, I kind of let it grow because of what most people get in a relationship with. I didn't select consciously. What makes a relationship work is things in common. Similar values, right? Similar dreams or goals or loves or desires. What makes a relationship work is having things in common, because what that gives you is the emotion of certainty that allows you to open up and connect. People like people who are like whom? Themselves. So you like this person, And you have certainty about this person. You have connection with this person because you have a connection through interests or values. And you have certainty because, hey, they're like me. So what makes a relationship work is things in common. What makes a relationship passionate is uncertainty, not knowing, and differences. This is the critical understanding. Can you have both in a relationship simultaneously? Yes or no? Yes, but most people pursue one aspect of their needs, like in the beginning they want the variety and the uncertainty and the excitement that comes with that. And this person's so different than me, and so it excites me because I'm quiet and they're loud and intense and playful. And then they get around and they go, oh, I want this forever, and they try to get a hold of this person and very often try to control them. And then what they want to do is get this place of connection, but also control, certainty. And they try to make their spouse, their boyfriend, their girlfriend, their husband, their wife like them. All their being loud before was exciting. Now it's loud. That they were doing in the very beginning. But now you're irritated by it. And if you reinforce somebody or you punish them for being a certain way and try and make them like you, you will have a great friend and no passion. And they'll never go back to the way they were because they don't want to lose love, or they've been rejected so much, they don't want to be in that place. They start to protect themselves. There's a way to have both. It's learning how to honor those differences and enjoy those differences. Now, some of those you already honor and enjoy, but if you're going to honor and enjoy them in some areas they're inconvenient. You don't like them, but you got to learn to love what you didn't like. So, but are there some things that are so different than you that they would destroy a relationship? Yes, like you have certain values that are the core of who you are, and if somebody has the opposite, it'd be pretty hard for you to really sustain a quality relationship. So the place to start, you make your list of everything you want. Then you make your list of everything, and the second list is really critical. Everything that you must not have in a relationship. Not should not. There's lots of things you prefer not to have, but must not have. By the way, you can get everything you want in a relationship and get 2 or 3 things you must never have, and it'll destroy it. And I'm going to show you that process. Because even if you're not in a relationship, how many would like to have a way to evaluate whether or not this is the right relationship or not for me? And it saved my life to have the ability to do that. But I'll tell you the first thing I did, I thought everything in my life that I've ever created, I went back and did what I asked you to do. What did I create that was impossible? How did I do that? I mean, think about it. I always started by focusing on what I wanted, not where I was. Isn't that true? Only focus on what you want to create. So I said, okay, what am I committed as a soul to have in a relationship with a woman? What do I want in that relationship? And then what can I not have? I made these lists, and I wrote it for about 9 or 10 pages. Maybe by the time I was done with a mix-up list, I might end up with 12. But I'm talking about details, ridiculous details. And then, interestingly, as I read that, I knew what I had to do because I could look at that list, and I did one more thing. I wrote what I must have in a relationship, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, everything. What I must not have in a relationship with a woman. And then my third one was, what kind of man would I have to be to attract that quality of woman? Instead of saying, how come I don't have this person? Because if you focus on the outside, it'll always be screwed up because you'll always blame somebody else. So I went, okay, clarity first. What do I need? What am I committed to? What do I want? And clarity, what must I be for that type of person to be in my life? How many follow these steps?